My wife and I had been married for 34 years when she told me she needed a weekend away. She didn't say it dramatically. No argument. No tension in her voice. She simply said it while folding laundry, as if she were talking about groceries or the weather. "I'm going to stay with Linda for the weekend," she said. "I just need a change of scenery." I remember nodding. I remember saying, "That sounds nice." At that point in our marriage, we didn't question small things anymore. We had learned to live around each other's routines. Quiet had become normal. Comfortable, I thought. She packed light. Just one small suitcase. No rush. No excitement. I watched her from the doorway as she checked the house one last time. The same way she always did. The same habits. The same gestures. Nothing felt unusual. When she left, the house didn't feel empty. It felt paused, like a room holding its breath. That first evening, I cooked dinner for one. Something simple. I ate at the table out of habit, even though I could have eaten in front of the television. I didn't turn the TV on. I sat in silence longer than I realized. I told myself this was healthy. Married people didn't need to be attached at the hip. After all, we had spent decades together. A weekend apart meant nothing. That night, I slept poorly. Not because I missed her, but because the house sounded different. Every home has its own voice. You don't notice it when someone is always there. But when they leave, you hear it. The pipes. The refrigerator. The distant hum of traffic. I woke up early the next morning and made coffee out of habit. I poured 2 cups before realizing my mistake. I stood there for a moment, holding the second mug, unsure what to do with it. I poured it out. Saturday passed quietly. I did chores, answered emails, went for a walk. I didn't call her. She didn't call me. That wasn't unusual either. We had stopped checking in years ago. Not out of anger, out of routine. That evening, I received a message from her. Just one line. "Having a nice time. Hope you're well." I stared at the screen longer than necessary. I typed a response. Deleted it. Typed again. "Enjoy your weekend," I finally wrote. I didn't ask questions. I didn't want to seem needy. After 34 years, pride shows up in strange ways. Sunday morning, I woke with an unease I couldn't explain. Nothing specific. Just a quiet pressure in my chest. I walked through the house slowly, noticing things I hadn't paid attention to in years. A small crack in the hallway wall. A stain on the carpet she had always meant to clean. A photo on the shelf that had been crooked for months. I straightened it. That afternoon, she texted again. "She'll be home late tonight," she said. "Traffic is bad." I replied with a simple okay. She arrived after midnight. I heard the car before I heard the door. The sound made my chest tighten. I told myself it was relief. She came in quietly, trying not to wake me, but I was already awake, lying still, listening. She smelled different. Not perfume. Not anything obvious. Just unfamiliar. She kissed my cheek. Said she was tired. Said she'd tell me about the weekend tomorrow. Her voice was calm. Too calm. She fell asleep quickly. I didn't. I lay there staring at the ceiling, replaying nothing and everything at the same time. The next morning, she acted normal. Too normal. She made coffee, watered the plants, asked if I needed anything from the store. She didn't mention Linda, didn't mention where they went, didn't mention anything at all. I didn't ask. That was the first mistake. Or maybe it was the last of many. Over the next few days, I noticed small things. Changes so minor I almost ignored them. She started locking her phone. She used new words in conversation. She laughed at messages she didn't share. I told myself I was imagining it. That long marriages create paranoia when nothing else is left to worry about. But one evening, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the counter. I didn't pick it up. I didn't look. I just stared at it. The screen lit up. A name I didn't recognize. A message preview I couldn't fully see. I walked away. That night, lying beside her, I realized something unsettling. I didn't want confirmation. I already knew something had changed, and knowing the details wouldn't make it easier. What hurt wasn't the possibility of betrayal. It was the realization that she had learned how to live a life that no longer included me, and I hadn't noticed when it started. I began replaying our last 10 years together. The quiet dinners, the separate hobbies, the polite conversations. Had she already left long before that weekend? A week later, she told me she was going out for coffee. Just coffee. Nothing unusual. She didn't ask if I wanted to come. I watched her leave through the window. The same suitcase wasn't there this time. Just her purse. Just her coat. And yet, it felt heavier than the weekend. I sat down in the living room and realized something else. I wasn't angry. I wasn't shocked. I was tired. Tired of pretending silence meant peace. Tired of confusing routine for loyalty. Tired of believing that staying was the same as choosing each other. When she came home that afternoon, she looked surprised to see me sitting there. "Everything okay?" she asked. I nodded. "Yes," I said. "Everything is clear now." She frowned slightly, but she didn't ask what I meant. And that told me everything I needed to know.